And we are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. We're going to talk about speaker sizes. This is the Kickin' It with Andy show. So let's kick it off and get to the intro. See you guys in a second. Kickin' It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kickin' It with Andy. Kickin' It with Andy. Kicking It with Andy. And we are live. What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. This is the Kickin' It with Andy show with your guest, of course. Take a wild guess, Andy. What is going on? Thank you guys for tuning in. And Cornet, I just want to say thank you for the early super chat. SJC, we have tried and we have failed with the super chat function, but I appreciate your guys' support. New computer's coming on the way anyway, for a little bird, he told me. So it's okay. It's okay. We're going to hold out until then, but I appreciate that you guys are here and tuned in. And of course, check in with the link that I drop periodically to try to win some kicker gear, the Cush, the Tabor 2s, the EB400s, awesome stuff. Kicker.com/UMweekly. Every week, check it out, win some free stuff. I mean, come on, guys. It's a no-brainer. So what are we going to talk about this week? I feel like speaker sizes are very important for more than one reason. I mean, honestly, whenever I got into car audio, and I feel like everybody thinks this, you want the biggest speaker. You know, that's why whenever I got the Solo X18, I'm like, I am never letting this thing go. This thing looks like a monster, and, well, it just happened to turn out to be a monster. I just didn't know it was of the cookie breed. So, you know, I always thought, you know, bigger the better. And, with a lot of variables that we're going to go into, and I want to hear from your guys' opinion of what you guys think matters more, like speaker size, how many you got, and the variables along that. And I got a few things I'm going to throw up like I usually do. This is the Kickin' It with Andy show. We actually try a little harder on this show than my, laid back Friday shows and the Unmasked After show, which is always fun. But here we're here to learn some cool things. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and drop a comment down below like you guys always do. I appreciate you guys. RGA, Ashy, Brian Townsend. Everybody is in here tonight. We got someone from Kicker Club. Let's see. I had a comment there. It says, yo, it might be from Team SP Loud. I don't have that in there, but thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you're here, guys. You guys make this happen. Again, check out the link below so you guys can enter to win some Kicker gear. And we'll be back towards the end here to let you guys know who won. And of course, it's always rigged. William, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in, as always. Hey. Kicking it with Andy Tuesday. Kicker on Mass show with no other than Andy. Andy, you're a rock star. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, William. And towards the end of the show, I'm going to show the guys what you sent me via mail, which is an awesome product, and I cannot wait to use it for my amp dynos. But we will get to that towards the end. If you can't see it already, it's sitting right there. But I want to wait towards the end. We got to get to the topic, and then we'll start side-jagging towards the end, maybe when we're waiting to see if there's a winner or not tonight. We'll find out. But I do want to talk about that, and thank you for tuning in, man, and Cornut as well. Appreciate you guys so much, and just your support of being here every Tuesday and every Friday for my shows, and just being a contributor of the community and the stuff you guys do, man. It's awesome. Matt G, what is going on? Chilling, man. Just going to be talking about speaker sizes. All different sizes where, what kind of works with your build. So let me get to everything else going on here, and let's get this show on the road. All right, scroll down. What's going on, Ashy? John K. John K, you're going to want to stick towards the end, too. Well, maybe not even towards the end. We might get it to the right in the meat and potatoes of it, because you had a very good topic and some pointers that I wanted to address as well, which I thought were very important. So, I have a little thing here. You might have seen it. What speaker size should I choose? Yes, this might not be the Back to the Future 60-inch subwoofer. It might just not fit in your car. So maybe that might not work for you. But honestly, I feel like if you have a car and you don't care about space or bass, there's a lot of variables with that. Where do you want more space or bass? This guy has an Eclipse. I seen this on the internet a few weeks ago. And 212s in the back of a hatchback, in that Eclipse, it takes up all the space. There is nothing left to it where it's the entire car is the box. It's not Cookie Monster level, but it's there. It's definitely there. You have no room for groceries. So it really does all depend what you kind of want in your car. Do you want something that is a specific, not SPL-oriented base vehicle, but something that's like, yeah, man, I don't got room in my trunk because I got subs, I got amps, I got batteries. That is what I want. Or you want something that's a little bit more practical for your daily use. So it all depends your necessity of what you're trying to do and the space that you have. And I feel like that's very important too, the space, man. Can you get away with less and more? I feel like whenever you have something that is smaller but requires less space, and then you can reach those parameters of what that sub or subwoofers, whatever you have running, can reach its recommended airspace. Obviously, power comes into things as well, but you want to have the amount of space that you need for your enclosure to fit. Could you fit two 15s back there in the back of that truck? Sure, but is the box going to be big enough? That is, and you might just be hurting yourself just by trying to run something that's bigger. And just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's better for you in your application alone, which I think is very, very, very important. Let me see what else I wanted to get. Okay, this kind of was the main thing right here, where I saw this on the internet, and obviously, internet, Timmy Turner. So anyway, I like how he has them highlighted of each one of pretty much what is similar. You know, I didn't do this, but it kind of works. I'm like, man, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was trying to get over. Now, these are round cone area, surface area, effective cone area, not effective cone area, but just, you know, a 12-inch circle. What is the surface area of that? And literally, all you do is you take your radius of your subwoofer, so you got a 15, 7.5, you times it by itself, which is radius squared, then times pi, and that's how you get these numbers. So if you see, if you have two 10s, it's close to having 3 8s. And I wanted to bring this up because I feel like it's so important, where those 3 8s might not fit because they're going to take up a longer space if you put them in a line compared to two 10s. It's math. You know, you got 24 inches wide compared to 20, but you can see the two 10s would work better in a trunk where you're trying to fit a long box in, and it's not going to be ideal to fit a 24-inch at least, if not more, because the box has to be bigger. You only have so much room to fit in a trunk. Whenever you build so high, you can only go so long and so deep just because of the angle. It's not an SUV where you can slide it straight in. There's no angle. I know a lot of guys, you know, like they're taking out their back seats, they're taking out their front seats just to slide a box in. I've seen people in other countries, I think Pride usually, in Russia, and they literally take out their back window just to slide the box in straight and have that longer angle and then slide it through the trunk. It is insane what they're doing, but that's a different story. I don't recommend you to take your back window out or blow your back window out before your subs do, because that can happen too, but only whenever you run some kickers, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to throw up a few of those. There's more stuff to go over, but I want to hear from your guys' opinion of what you think of speaker sizes. Do you go for just the bigger sub, or do you go by more than just one rating? I feel like the more I've learned this stuff, you can't go by just specs alone. You can't go by one or the other. I know a lot of guys start to compare just efficiency numbers, the SPL measurement at 3 meters, 1 watt, which is your efficiency rating of the woofer, which will give you somewhat of an idea. It's not that it's a bad calculation, but it's hard to put into practice because that woofer might only take 200 watts and the other one will take 1,000, but it's only 3 dBs quieter. So yes, it'll take more, but it has more performance with that measurement. And that's at 1 watt, which is not how woofers work. Like, yes, but you're putting hundreds of watts. You're playing music, which is all over the spectrum. Your power is fluctuating all the time. Unless you're playing just a sine wave, you're competing, and then you have an idea, and you can narrow things down. Music, it's all over the place. But it gives you an idea of how efficient the driver is, and there's a lot more specs to it with the CMS, the moving mass, and all these other kind of factors of an excursion of what kind of enclosure it's going to fit in. So then you have to put that into perspective as well. Just for the simple fact of how much space do I need for this base, for this box to fit in my car? Is it going to work? Should I just run subs that maybe need a little bit less, a smaller box, but require more power? Do I have the funds to do that? With my type of build, maybe I got a small trunk and I'm not trying to take up my entire trunk. And, you know, I would rather just run a 12 than two 10s. And you might need a little bit more power and the box might be a little bit smaller, but it really all depends of what you're trying to do. And I feel like there are so many factors. This is just as bad as the integration topic, where it is an iceberg and there is a very deep bottom that you can't even see. But just to give you guys an idea of how this stuff kind of works and what to do when you're investing on buying a subwoofer or subwoofers, just to give you an idea. What is a subwoofer? Woofer. What's going on? That is Acoustic Arts. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. We got SJC. What is going on? Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if you heard in the beginning, super chats are not working. Giving up again, but it's okay. Appreciate you guys just hanging out, being here. This is Tuesday. This is what we do. Got 46 people up in the chat. We got Vega. What is going on, Vega? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Deviant has arrived so the show can commence. Thank you so much, buddy. What's going on, Elis? What's up, Andy from Chambersburg, PA? Nice, not too far away from me. Thank you for tuning in, man. Glad you're here, and we're just talking about car audio, bass, and speaker sizes. Things along those lines. If you got any other questions, I mean, feel free to ask. This is Living Loud with Andy. Yes, it's the Kickin' It with Andy show, but if you guys have questions that are a little bit off topic, fire away. Fire away, because I feel like that is what I'm here to do. I am here to help people, especially new into the chat, that are coming here for questions, and they might just need simple answers, and I'm going to try my best to explain it to them. And obviously, everyone else that tunes in every week and smash that like, I just appreciate that you guys are here, man. Thank you so much. All right, let me scroll up here. All right. Brian Townsend, what is up? Ashy again. We got Face Kicker. What is going on? Got someone from either, I think it's Team SP Loud, because I got Kicker Club up here. I feel like I was just going to stream through both just because it's Tuesday, Kicking It with Andy. Why not? Team SP Loud is half the reason why I am who I am today. Facebook user Joby, good friend of mine. Joby's 318's doing a 170 proves you don't need a lot of subs to get loud. I know a lot of the loudest guys in SPL don't run a lot of woofers. You know, it's like 215s or 218s. Now, there's a lot of variables with that where it's high frequency, SPL driven. But yes, to an extent, right. You can do more with less. And especially whenever it's a extreme vehicle, you know, I feel like, yes, you want bore and stroke from the woofers, but there's a trade-off of just how much car you have left to build the enclosure that's going to work for the type of build that you're doing. Now, when you're going down that rabbit hole, totally different than what we're trying to do here, but yes, entirely, man, entirely. That's when you get to the second level, man. Second level, he's doing I think, yeah, he just busted 170 something at 47, or I think his frequency went up a little bit. Still, the thing is nasty. I had videos on here of getting demos of that build, man. It is insane. It's not really enjoyable. It's just pain. It's pain. It's that loud. I felt like my eardrum was bottoming out, and if that's a thing, man, it was happening. SJC, darn it. I have tried everything, even the obscure StreamYard has no help. Going to have to contact again. Man, you know what? We tried everything. We actually did like pretty much like a hard reset on the computer and just, you know, idle time and stuff like that. I don't know, you know, how this stuff works. I know the basics. I remember my email password. I know how to turn these computers on and maneuver around a little bit, and I know how many megabytes per second and gigabytes. I'm not a professional with computers, but we tried a lot of stuff. No go. I think it's just bad karma with this computer, man. All right, John, yo, it's your boy High Five Vega here to support the man from Black and Yellow, a real nice fellow whose biceps are not jello, the one and the only Andy. Man, you guys crack me up with that stuff. I love it. Thank you, John. Deviant with the super chat. The 14.4 volt talk Discord brought me here. It is lit. Yes, it is lit. You know what? A lot of us guys that are in the chat now are hanging out in the Discord, and it's pretty cool because you get to contact a lot of us. And man, I'm there. I mean, come on, it's a fun time. Michael DePaleo, what is going on? Sorry if I messed that up. Hey, Andy, shout out from Washington, PA. Thank you for tuning in. You're close as well, man. That is awesome. You know what? This is cool because I feel like there's more people tuning in, and that is why we do what we do. We stream twice a week. We're telling YouTube, give me all the algorithm you got so we can reach more people like that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you take away something from the show, and if you don't, let me know. I'm happy to help or just communicate with, you know, fellow bass heads. That is exactly what we are here to do, and try to help out and just have a good time, man. Cornut, what is going on? Vega, Andy, onto something. Your super chat isn't working. Y'all send a few more just to check. That's a good idea, Vega. That's a good. No, you know what? Last week's what was it? Friday, man. I wasn't even last week. I was a few days ago, and it was insane. You guys, man. Too many super chats. I couldn't do it, and I literally broke. Andy broke. Lena Bean, thank you for tuning in from Facebook. Hey, Andy, what show are you going to be at next? I actually have a Team SP Loud show, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday the 18th of September, it's the Greensburg Stereo Shop, but the Stereo Shop Mobile, and it's going to be an awesome time down Greensburg, Pennsylvania. 12 to 8, free to attend, 20 to compete, 30 for all classes, and you get 3 classes. I mean, come on. And, oh, man, no one's seen it yet, but I ordered a very big trophy. Very, very big trophy for pretty much like best of show. It's going to be an awesome show. It really is. All right, so we already went over a little bit with this cone area stuff, and I feel like with this cone area chart, yes, it'll give you an idea, of how much, what's the word I'm looking for? How much potential of movement of air that you have. But that's a very small factor because, yes, you have, say a 12 is 113, but you only have a ½ inch of excursion. If we're just talking about output, we don't care how much power it's going to take. I talked about this with Vega, and take it with a grain of salt, but if you multiply your cone area times your, the excursion, it'll give you a number, and then you can use that number to just get an idea of maybe potential output. Now, Xmax, how they rate Xmax and Xmac, and is that really real of what a woofer can do? Can it do more? Can it do less? I've heard some stories left and right with it, but it'll give you an idea of performance of maybe just how loud is this going to be? How loud could it be? Of what those specs are listing. It's not going to tell you anything else of just what kind of enclosure, how big it's going to be, but if you're just looking at something like that, that'll give you an idea. And I feel like that's kind of cool. I like thinking of, formulas and algorithms that no one else has kind of done. And a lot of them just don't make sense. But some of them, it's like, oh, well, that could give you an idea. And now with squares, now that's something I wanted to pull up here. Hold on, let me pull this down. Where is it at? Right here. Yeah, there we go. Square or round, which is better? Which is better, square or round? Now, yes, with the square, in general, you're going to need a larger enclosure just because there's more bore and stroke happening because the woofer is bigger in general terms. But every woofer, how they design them, can work in smaller enclosures, or they work really well, even better in larger enclosures. It all depends what you're trying to get. That's why I think Kicker kind of was ahead of the game, because how they made the square woofer and how well it reacts in a small enclosure. I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't like the way they sound in a small enclosure. Well, you're really pushing the limits of what that woofer can do. You put that other woofer that's round into that same enclosure, it's going to be having a hard time just as well. It's really hard to get that low end extension when you have a very small box. But if you can do that with more cone area in the same size box, but you're moving more air and it's doing the same performance, of that box, but in general, moving more air, that's kind of the whole, not gimmick, but the 20% more cone area, it is real. But it all depends what you're trying to do. If you really want to get more output, yes, you're going to have to build a bigger box, and, you want to play lower, build a bigger box, and it depends with your port tuning and all that kind of stuff. But I feel, to be very general with things, that's kind of why the square works. The triangle doesn't. It's just you already have these rounded edges over here, and you have a triangle. You put 2 of them, you're still getting less effective cone area because you're putting 2 beside each other. They got landings and gaskets that are in the way. The square is the biggest that you can be with just any shape. So I feel like that, that's why kickers, they're square. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a gimmick. I mean, look at it. It really makes you want to look at it. It's like, man, that speaker is square. That's cool. So, I don't know. You take it as you will, but I feel like that's very important. And then back to the chart again. I hate going back to this chart. I know it's boring, but a 10-inch square, we'll say right there, is what, 78 square inches? How you figure out a square's surface area is even simpler. You just do length times width. So it'd be 10 times 10 is 100. So that's your 20% that you're getting, roughly, every time. And that's how much more cone area you're going to get. And that's another thing, too. Whenever you do compete, you got to think about that. Hey, I don't have, I got more cone area than I'm walking in thinking because I got squares. So that's one thing I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I thought I had 456. I got over 500 square inches of cone area. Oh, yeah, they're square. Whoops, quad box. But hey, you know what? I'll take it, man. I'll take it. All right, cool. I try, Mike. There's a lot of crazy names. Even living loud with Randy sometimes. It's easy to mess up. Yeah, the super chat never really works, Ashley. I think it's just this computer. It just does not like me. But it's okay. I feel like things will get better in the future anyway. And that's even more of a reason to get a new computer. And I can't wait. But we're gonna deal with it until then. We'll try to fix it, but that's what we've been trying to do. What's going on, Jaquan? Thank you for tuning in, man. Jeff Wallace, what is going on? I see you listening. You know what? That's what a lot of guys do, and I even rewatch shows, and I'm listening to them while I'm cleaning the room, working out in the garage. I was just re-listening to the other 4 hours of the RGA podcast last night, and it's I try to chew out bit by bit RGA. That's a long show to watch through. Yes, I definitely did break last Friday night. That was fun though. You guys are crazy, man. Elliot Designs, thanks for tuning in. What do each of the numbers represent volume displaced? That is not the displacement. That is just not even effective cone area. I know you know a thing or two about a thing or two. That is just the overall measurement of a square or the circle of whatever size you're measuring. Now, I feel like it'd be better if you start to learn the stuff, go up against the SD, the effective cone area or whatever of the driver, and that's like literally the top of the surround and then the other top of the surround in the middle. But I've learned that you can't even go by that really when you start, pulling teeth. It's just because the woofer flexes and then it'll flex at the peak will change where that woofer, it'll roll out or roll in depending how it's designed, and you actually get more cone area when the woofer's all the way out. And it's just that little bit of difference that, those are the numbers you don't think about. But you try to, if you're just trying to pick which woofer to put in your car, keep it simple. Now, if you're trying to get every nth of decibel out of your system and you're competing, then you don't have to listen to me. You know what you're doing, and that's how you learn this stuff, and you got to dig into it. And there's a lot to learn with car audio, man. Like, when I went down to Kicker, I felt like a noob. I felt wet behind the ears, but it's like I can understand it enough to go on, and it gave me kind of a bump start, of like wanting to get more into learning how this stuff works, and doing these podcasts. I mean, it goes hand in hand, man. Elise, I will see you in Greensburg. Awesome. Make sure you come and say hi. I'll be at the table, the main booth running the lane, so make sure you say hi. Thank you. That's awesome, man. We only have 2 shows a year now, but it's like I'm in the middle of downtown Greensburg. I can't have a show there every month. They're going to boycott. I'm telling you. They're going to boycott. We don't have really too many complaints. There's the usual neighbors, the picture frames, the whole deal, wah, it's like, come on, man. I get it. It's loud, but it's not knocking your picture frames off. If it is user error, you didn't put your picture frames on strong enough. I just, man, because I've heard some loud systems come up to my house, 150, 160s, and yeah, it's loud, but it's not like, oh my goodness, just turn your TV up a little bit higher. It's fine. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, please hit the like, guys. It pushes the algorithm so more new people can tune in and do what we do here every week, man. Just checking to make sure my AC's on. I'm just getting hot. Talking too much. You know how it goes. It's Tuesday. This is what happens. We got 55 people in here right now. 56. It just jumped up. Thank you, guys. If you're just tuning in now, thank you so much. And the ones that are sticking around, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, drop them down below. We are here to talk about speaker sizes, man. I think that's almost a high for me. 56. That's good. You know what? It's a slow growth with this YouTube stuff. It's not TikTok. It's not Facebook. But you know what? I like it because it's consistency, and I love consistency. Archie, I use subwoofers like a prom night fling. Hey, you know what? I have too much of a connection with them. Maybe that's my fault. Elliot, more surface area for a given baffle size. I mean, that's another thing too, man. You're getting down that road, and that's why people, you know, how they build their baffles, and they'll have like little rolls into it. Even their walls, they'll put kerfs in their walls and build them up and around with like waves, so the waves, you know, guiding the waves in a way. And you're going down that rabbit hole, Elliot. I know, you know all about it. And that's the thing with sound, man. There's so much to it. It's like the Matrix. It really is. We know the outer workings of it. And the more you dig into it, you learn about everything else, man. All right, let's see here. Daily Bench, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in. I have my single 12 round and it pumps. Although I've heard more surface area with square, I heard they can fit in better places and fit more of them. Right, and that's the whole idea of just putting the subwoofers beside each other. When you put two squares, you don't have any space in between. When you have circles, you have whatever the circles only go so close because they're rounded. And that's the amount of cone area that you're losing. So man, when those L7Xs come out and they can take thousands of watts like every other driver out there, and who else knows what's coming down the line, and you only have so much space, how can you beat it? If you're just talking demo, packing woofers in a car, thousands and thousands of watts, and you got more cone area and just as much throw, and you can take as much power, how can you beat that? Exactly. And that's why I'm so excited about the L7X line and just everything else. And that's why, you know, yes, woofers have come a long way since the Solo X, but we've been waiting a long time, and I can't wait till they come out. Hopefully this Christmas, you know, 2023, around that time, people get their hands on it and get the tip of the iceberg, man. I'm telling you guys, you're going to want to see more. I know, Vega, you're the one that I responded about. I know you don't like those small enclosures. You know what? I like them. I like them because you use it in a hatchback. I'm telling you, it's different. When you throw them in a vehicle that will react low and has a weird low peak, not like an SUV, but a hatchback because it's small and just how that kind of works thing, you can get a little bit more low end rather than having to make the wave travel farther to extend and make that wavelength. It's weird. Don't think about it. You put your windows down, it hits that low note. It's weird. In the box will be like 1 cube for a 12. Now, is it as loud as it could be with a bigger box? Absolutely not. But it's still going to have that punchiness, and that's why you don't build at the very minimum. You kind of go in the middle. You know this. But if all the space you have, maybe you should downsize to a smaller speaker to a 10 instead of a 12, so that you're more in that medium range for the same enclosure that you're running with the 12. You're in a more middle range of what that driver wants to be in, rather than pushing the limits. But again, I understand the small enclosure thing and kickers, but I don't know. It's almost like the reason where people were like, you know, I don't like kicker because I blew them on 500 watts and user error, newbie stuff. I feel like with the small enclosures where their minimum spec recommendations are being ran, you have to take it within reason. You know, it's not going to play 35 hertz and slam it. It'll play 40, 38, and then it's going to have a pretty significant roll-off, but not a large roll-off, but it will have a roll-off. And that's where the vehicle kind of does the rest, at least in my experience. Now, is it going to be playing rebass? No way. It's going to sound like the woofer is just not happy, and that's not what they were intended to do, but you want that low-end extension. We all know Iron Hoffman's law. You know, you can't have it all. You really can't. I don't know. I like small enclosures too because I have a really big enclosure, and then I go to a small one. I'm like, ooh, that tight base. Give me some more. I want that. And even the quad box, if you look at that, that's a little bit smaller of a box for 412s. It's not big. It's got that port is huge. That port is taking up a lot of the air displacement of that box. So each sub's seeing like maybe 2 cubes, not even, when you can run them in like 2.5. Bear with me here. So you might have to add more power, but the way that they have it designed, it's efficient, man. I've done a 40 on 200 watts, 45 on 800. It's insane. Okay, let me scroll down here. Dennis, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in. As a gag, why not have a free air class at a Team SP Loud show? Hey, if you want to free air your woofer, and I mean, it's not going to make any SPL. Really, it's not. Just like a motorcycle and, you know, trying to compete with that, it's not going to do very well. Might not even pick up because how bass works, it just rarefies and rectifies off other things, and that's pretty much, you know, where you make that pressure. You could put it in a vehicle and have free air, but, you know, those are real, and they're not really designed for SPL, but you get a lot of bandwidth and not much control, and your power is about cut in half. The enclosure does a lot of the spring, the acoustical spring that pretty much keeps the woofer from moving, and that is aka impedance rise, box rise, whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of where, you know, small enclosures, like Rob was saying, a lot of pressure. So it doesn't want to move, and it won't play those lower notes as easily. That's just kind of how it is. But give and take with everything, man. Always. Man, we had 60 people, 58, at least on my end over here, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I'll drop the link again. I know I'm behind on the comments, as always, but go down, check it out. I know I tell you guys that are local to me, tune in. Get some Kicker headphones, man. I hate when my friends are like, man, my headphones just broke. I don't got none. I'm like, listen, tune into my show. Try to win some Kicker headphones, man. It's not a bad idea. Check it out, kicker.com/umweekly, and win some gear, man. We're going to do that at the end of the show here. Thank you guys for just tuning in, and the ones that have entered, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you for hanging around. Just, you know, if you guys got any other questions, I'm trying to get to them as much as I can here. Let me scroll down here. Because there was other ones I wanted to show you. Okay, very good picture right here. Box fitment. Now, not so much that the woofer's hanging out of the enclosure right here, but the whole point of it's sitting in the back seat. I have been there, and I couldn't fit my box in my Saturn. I went to Best Buy. Listen, I got a heck of a deal. I looked at it once, and you know, I just bought it. I didn't go back and see if it would fit in my car, measure it out, nothing. Impulse buy. But it was a pair of Rockford Fosgate P2s in their custom, you know, prefab enclosure. Very nice enclosure. This is 2006, mind you. So this was the older one. And so I buy it, and I try putting it in my trunk as I'm out in the parking lot, and it didn't fit. So I had to put it in the back seat of my car, and I knew it just wasn't as loud. Can you have a woofer and enclosure in the back seat of your car? I wouldn't say the seat, but if you had some kind of, you know, leveled floor and your trunk was kind of sealed off, and it was like a wall in a sense, where it's like you're trying to just have the cab of the vehicle as your enclosure rather than your trunk and your cab, like your interior of your car. Yeah, but you got to have within reason. I've seen so many people do this, and it just doesn't put up good numbers. It doesn't sound good. You don't get any of that, what is it called? Help me, vehicle gain, acoustical gain from the vehicle. It's just not as present. I'm telling you. Plus you have waves going sideways to the trunk, forward, they're canceling. It's just not a good situation. If you got to do that, it's probably not the right setup for you, man. It probably is not. All right, let me scroll down here on the comments for a second. 38 minutes in, we are flying by, man. We got Mullen listening while he's watching. Awesome. Or listening while he's watching. I hope so. No, he's listening while he's working in the garage. Thank you for tuning in. Mike DePoli, thank you for tuning in. Andy, hit me up for computer repair or sales. Do it on daily. Thank you so much, man. I have very good friends already, but I can never have too many. But I always keep you in mind, man. Thank you for tuning in. And I should be good on the computer stuff. I have very good friends that are guiding me along the way right now. And after that, I don't think we should have any more computer problems for a while. But you know, with technology, man, things, they get outdated within a year. It's terrible. It's like the iPhone. I got the 13 Pro, and it's like, man, what is that? You know, they're already on iPhone 24 now or something like that. Can't even keep up anymore. All right, Let's see here. RGA. Let me scroll down here. Jaquan, been busy. Finna take out all my Kicker CS components and put in Infinity Reference Series components, which I bought for $25 that I bought from a local pawn shop. I love, Infinity, say less. I have the Reference 6x9s. They are awesome, man. That is awesome. One step at a time, buddy. All right, Dennis, what is going on again, buddy? With the Kicker cone design, how the cone has been indented pattern, does that equate to more cone area? I've thought about that times for smooth dish cone. Ooh, very, very good question. I think that's more with, what is it, refraction or something like that. I know with higher frequencies it's more important, and there's a lot of variables with how they're designed and what they're trying to do and be cosmetically appealing. I feel like some of it's cosmetic appealing attributes, but maybe more into it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. I'll let you know. I'll talk to the guys myself, man. I'm sure there's a method behind the madness. There's a reason. Yes, I've seen square subs and they don't have this, but hey, maybe they just couldn't do it because of patents, or it's just because, you know, there's a reason there's a patent. I don't know. I don't know on that with the shape of how that Kicker is designed, with the divots in there, you know, with that, and even the cues, but they're not divots, they're just kind of indentations. Maybe there's a pro and con versus how that is of what they're trying to achieve with that type of woofer. Very good point, man. Very, very good point. 64 people in here. That's a record. That is a record. Super chat record last week. Viewership this time, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you for just watching me consistently. You got, you know, hey, it's easy to click off, man. You know, there's a lot of other stuff going on. So I appreciate the guys that are here hanging out. And I know you want to win some free stuff, but hey, you're still watching me. So I'm doing something right. When is the show? September 18th. September 18th. Yes, the Discord is lit always. Kyle TBV Davis, the guy just hit a 50 last week. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you here. Walter Keeley, what is up? Thank you for tuning in. 69 people. Don't make it hit 70. Oh my goodness, do not share it. Don't share. I'll be like those people on TikTok. Oh, don't share it. Don't share it. And then there's like 4 million people watching. Solo Triple X. Chris Crespo. No way. No way. What is up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in. If you know who Chris Crespo is, you're an OG. Thank you for tuning in, man. Love you, buddy. And love you. So your question is Solo Triple X. I mean, I don't know what you're meaning by that, but you know, I got two right here. So we got the what is it? The Dynamic Duo, is that what they go by these days? 14 guys? Yeah, Dynamic Duo, that's what we got. Right there, it's just a 12 right there. Can't even bend. I can't bend that far. Hatchback's corner load. You know, I tried that. My hatchback Eclipse, if you have a sub-forward port side, works best firing back and port to the side rather than sub-up port to the side or sub-up port to the back, if that's your orientation of a rectangle box. Now square, things can change, and just how the loading is and how much space you have, and if the air is getting suffocated by going around the box, and then there's a lot of variables. Corner loading can help, especially tuned at higher frequencies, just in my experience. Lower frequencies, it didn't seem to make a huge difference just because of just how the waves are, the type of system. Usually it's a bigger box, taking up more, and just how that goes, man. But you know what? A lot of people, that's how you can get that half dB gain, man. It's real. You take your 212 prefab box, you turn it to the left, your meter's on the opposite side of the vehicle, it's going to be louder. You know, obviously each box is different, where the port is, sealed or not. Even sealed boxes I've seen done it better, just because of how the waves are all kind of going one way. You know, it just makes things more efficient in that aspect of the waves going through the car rather than being canceled as much, and your score just goes up. Now, obviously, there's eventually a drop-off on that. We just hit 70 people. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is a high. I'm happy with that. You guys are awesome. If you're here, smash the like, Facebook, YouTube. Love you guys so much. All right, cool. What is going on? We got a lot of side jag. Baba, who brought you here? Probably the 14 guys. What is going on? Baba, thank you for tuning in. I'm probably really far behind on the comments, but it's okay. I'm trying to catch up. Oh, wow, I'm really far behind. I can just tell. Let me drop that link again, guys. If you haven't already, go click the link. Go to kicker.com/umweekly. It's the first thing that pops up on my feed because, you know, I just type in Kicker a lot. And go enter and try to win some headphones and some Kicker koozies and some swag, man. I'm telling you, the swag pack is awesome. It's awesome. Very good question. I skipped up a lot. If I miss a super chat, let me know, guys, because I do not want to miss those. Do L7 love sealed enclosures better than ported enclosures? You know what? Very good question. I believe if you just look at the EBP, which is a general rule of thumb of how a subwoofer with the FS and the FS and the QES, how those relate is how well it'll work in a sealed versus ported or both. And your estimated bandpass, I think it's like 0.4 and below it's like sealed, and then 0.4 to 0.5, both 0.5 to 100 is like more ported but can do both. And then anything, usually 0.75 and up is just an SPL woofer. It might not sound good at all in a sealed box, but you can still do it within reason. There's always that within reason thing. So I feel like L7s, usually it's around 0.45 with the L7s. It's like in that, or 0.45 to 0.55. I forget which. I know it's not high, but it's like right in the middle where they can do both. A lot of JL products, at least from my research and my, looking up stuff, they're on the lower end. And they work better in sealed enclosures. So that's the thing, but they work in everything. They really do. Now, what do they work better in? From my experience, ported. I mean, you're just going to get more output. If that's what you're trying to get, you're going to get more output with a ported enclosure in general, and just how that woofer is. It's gonna like both, but I feel like it's gonna like ported a little bit more just because of how it's geared, man. And it depends which L7 you get, the L7R, the L7S, the QL7, L7X. It all depends which square you get. Even the L3 or the L5 back in the day. The L3, man, that was just a Kicker comp that was square. I want one so bad. People want to sell them for like $200. I'm like, you're crazy. I'll give you like $60 right now today, and then they leave me on red. Awesome subwoofer. So if you use like the L7R, yeah, it might work a little bit better in a ported enclosure that's a little bit bigger just because it's a lighter driver in general. And you use a driver that's an L7Q, that's a stiffer driver, that's a more sound quality oriented driver, it's going to work better in a sealed enclosure. Yes, can it do both? Absolutely. They're not going to build a driver that only works in sealed boxes. Even though back in the day, whenever they would say, oh, you can't throw this in a ported box, the old Kickers, and it was like a myth. It was like a myth legend that you couldn't use old school Kickers in a ported box. The reason why they said that is because it had a very loose suspension, but it just couldn't play yes, it could play those notes, but not without a subsonic filter. And amps just didn't have them then. So if you throw a subsonic on it, you're fine. But I feel like that's with any ported enclosure. You shouldn't be playing that low anyway. You play where your vehicle works. Awesome. Let me scroll down here. Joss Kinley. Thanks for tuning in. Good evening, everyone. Had a 99 Honda and it sounded way better firing to the back than towards the cab. Absolutely, man. That is two of my very most popular videos that I've made was speaker orientation. I feel like more YouTubers need to do it, but it's okay. You only need a few to do it. And that was kind of my thing. It's like, listen, man, I will show you SPL, watt for watt, the difference. Sealed enclosure and a ported enclosure. I did both. And yeah, man, within a certain degree, you can have them firing into the cab with different enclosures, different peaks, different vehicles, and they'll work okay. But at the end of the day, I feel like, man, you have that fire into the rear, and it's just a regular ported enclosure, regular sealed enclosure, 1 or 2 subs. It's always going to be louder, fire in the rear, just so that the wave can extend. Yes, you're going to have more trunk rattle, but you're going to be louder. So take it as you want, man. Absolutely, man. 100%. Ryan, Base for Life, thank you for tuning in. I love the custom built to spec trend boxes. I have one myself. I got a spec for 218 Sundown subwoofers for my SoundCube sub. Awesome. So 218 Sundown subwoofers for my SoundCube sub. So it should be fine. Just look at the recommended spec for the Sundown of that box versus yours. And if you're within that area, it depends what SoundCube level you got and the type of Sundown that box was, built for. It'll work. It's not like one box is only going to work for one sub. If you're within that area and you're buying that kind of box, it's going to work for you. Now, can you always build a custom one that could be better? 100%. But is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Daily Bench, that's a Walmart one. They're all Walmart ones, man. Don't you know? Thanks for tuning in. All right. What is going on, Blake? Thank you for tuning in. Jeff Wallace. What's up, buddy? Andy, hey, is it normal for a Hyphonics amp to run warm normally? I know a lot of Hyphonics run AB class, and usually AB amps just run hot. The heat sink is doing its job. If it's not going to protect, then you're fine. If it's just running hot and it's just running like that all day, it's probably an AB, and the heat sink is doing its job. I was talking to a few guys between Kicker and Dave or Dan at Stereo Shop, and just about Kicker amps and how they run hot, the CX 360.4, and it's just doing its job. It gets hot, and you're playing for hours, I wouldn't touch it. It gets hot, but it doesn't shut off. And if it does, then you're probably overdriving it, clipping it, distorting it, not enough electrical, all the above, but they're going to run hot. Usually just AB they're just not as efficient, so it's taking more in just how they're designed. If it doesn't have a fan in it, that heat sink is the only way it cools itself down, and it takes the ambient air, and I don't know, it just does the thing with not fluid dynamics, but thermodynamics, whatever it is, heat dissipation. I feel like that, it's the oldest type of technology of how to cool something down, and sometimes it just works very well. Man, we got over 70 people, 72, 74, keeps bouncing up and down. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome so much for always tuning in. And man, you guys are awesome. This is great. I was like, how am I going to top Friday with all them super chats? You guys were crazy. And this is there, man. This is there. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Nick, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in, man. It's awesome that you're here again. I have 3 Solo Classic 12 kickers. Says work only in sealed 0.88 cubic feet. I don't know if you were here 5 minutes ago. I just went over it, but I'm behind on the comments, so maybe that's why. And those are the exact ones that I'm talking about. And yes, you can just put a subsonic filter. Don't play wasted information. But for real. Don't play super low, and honestly, you can hear a subwoofer bottoming out. User error is what they're trying to prevent, so people don't, play 20 hertz and, hit the bottom of their woofer, where the coil can hit the bottom plate and bend the coil, and then it's done. That's what they're trying to eliminate, is excursion, and just how that driver was designed. It's a light, loose driver, but that's why it was very loud. And it worked well in a sealed box. It was using the sealed box that has good pressure, but a ported box can have has more pressure than a sealed box. Tell me that. Now, if you play below tuning, does it have as much pressure? No. But that's the cool thing about what we do. There's all these variables. You play within reason. You play within your playability of how your box is played at low levels. You will tell before you get at the high levels of what you can play. And then maybe you can just set your crossovers. I have a built-in subsonic on the quad box, and I have my low pass set way down. So I'm not playing a lot of wasted information in 90 to 120 hertz, as loud as I don't need it to, and it's playing a lot of power through that, and it's wasting heat, man. It is not, and now that I have that, obviously I'm losing some, quality, I guess you could say, if at a lower volume. But if you tune things right and you mix your mids and highs and blend everything, it'll make it sound better. And that's the thing. The longer I have a system, I swear I get it to sound better and better as time goes on. Now I kind of wish that I was giving out demos of the quad box, because now it sounds good. It's not, gearing down. It's not, playing frequencies that are real high and heating up the coil for no reason. It's not loud there, but it's playing that, and I don't need it to. I really don't. But again, I just need to stop playing music that's way up here, because it's wasted information for the enclosure, man. Wasted information. It's a real thing, man. 40 hertz. That's just a range. That's just a range. All right, let's see. Let me scroll down here. Man, we already 55 minutes, guys. Listen, go check before it's too late. Go enter kicker.com/umweekly. I dropped the link again. It usually takes a few seconds to pop up, but you guys see it on the bottom of the screen scrolling. Let me see another slide that I had here. Okay, here was just another thing with the 6.5s and 15s. Look at that. This is a Drew Jones design with 20 6.5s, and it's the same cone area as 415s. It looks massive. It looks crazy, but it's just the same type of enclosure that you would need for 415s if they reacted the same. But that's another thing. Hold on. Good point here, where I was looking up some stuff, and I forget Sonic Electronic. That's who did it. And they were talking about different speaker sizes, like the 6 and the 8s are for punchy bass, and yes, it can work for everything, and like 10s and 12s are more average speakers, and 15 and 18s are for, like, I guess lower bass. But that's a myth. Will they play better with that type of music of each that they said? Yes. But can they play everything? Yes. It's just, how easily can they do it? What type of enclosure do they need? And I feel like, when you buy a smaller subwoofer and you want to run smaller ones because you want to have them in a different area, like say you only have so much space and you want 3/8 instead of, 2/12s. And yes, it's less cone area, but then you can get more motor force. There is a thing with that. And just, okay, but these 8s are lower RMS. They have smaller coils. What kind of music am I going to get out of that compared to 2/12s? And that's the factor where you really almost have to take someone's opinion. What should I get? If you're brand new to this hobby, what should I get? I listen to this music. That's the first thing I ask somebody when I'm building them a custom box, because I'm not going to build you some wind machine when you want to play rock and techno and, I don't know, pop music and a little bit of country and a little bit of R&B, but you're not playing DJ Rusticals. You're not playing, Waka Flocka and all this kind of stuff, So maybe you need a box that is a little bit more transient, a little bit more punchy. So that's why I ask people, what type of music do you listen to? To give them an idea, or to get an idea from them of what kind of enclosure I'm going to build. And I feel like some box builders kind of skip that part. And it's like, but why though? That's the most important part. And it's like, yes, you can just throw specs and it'll work, but maybe that's not what they're trying to do. Maybe they're not trying to play 15 hertz and do hair tricks on one sub. Trust me, I did not anticipate that. And it's awesome, but I do miss the punch. And ever since I fixed my box, I got the punch back. I actually shrunk it inside. I lost a little bit of the hair trick effect, not gonna lie, but I got the punch back, and it's still as loud as it was. I will take it. There's trade-offs, man. There are trade-offs for everything. Okay, 58 minutes in. Awesome. We are rolling, and we are chucking along the train tracks tonight. Jaquan, what about the L7 Solo Barracks, blue stitching, the L7S's, portator sealed enclosures? Both, but that's the cool thing about the L7S. I feel the L7S is just like the L711, the L708, of this generation of L7s, even the 03 and 06, of the gray cones. I feel like it's the same type of driver, but I feel like the older ones are a little bit lighter. These ones are a little bit heavier, from my knowledge. And they're the well-rounded L7 square, 750 RMS for the 12 and, 1,000 for the 15. And, it's just that happy medium. It'll do everything. Yes, will they sound louder in a ported enclosure that's big? Yes. But maybe you want a little bit more transients. Maybe you throw it in a smaller ported box with a little bit smaller ported area. You might lose some output, but you're going to get something you didn't think you could get out of a ported enclosure. Let me tell you. Or you can go sealed. If you want to go sealed, you absolutely can. You might gain some things that you may or may not want with your build. Maybe you got enough front stage to have that mid base that your rear fill can do, but you don't need that because you got 8-inch, kicker comps like John has, or kicker CVRs, comp Rs. I forget. He's got 8-inch subwoofers in his doors. So how much rear fill do you need for your mid base? Maybe not as much, but if you're lacking up there, it can kind of fill those voids. Obviously, you can tell when there's a dip. But hey, either way, man. Either way. 77 people. You guys are amazing. This is awesome. I love you guys. 77. 7's a good number. David Wright, what is up? Good to see you again. Thank you for tuning in, man. We went over a lot of stuff, man. If you're just joining in, you're going to have to rewatch it. And we just hit 80 people. I love you guys. Oh, my God. Yes, and we just hit an hour. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Guys are awesome. All right, let me scroll down here. We got a $20 super chat from Bubba. Thank you, Bubba. This super chat brought to you in part by 14.4 Volt Talk Discord chat. Come on, y'all, hit that like. Thank you, Bubba. Love you so much, man. Thank you for tuning in and just everything that you do, being part of the community, and all you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Kicker Car, thank you for tuning in. The old Kicker free airs worked great in a ported box. They did, and that's the misconception. A speaker can work in any box. They really can, but how good are they going to work in that box compared to another is the question. And I feel like this topic is fine of talking about all these things because, speaker size and how well it's going to work in a enclosure or not is a variable about of how many speakers you may need or want. Maybe you want to run a sealed enclosure. You want that punchier bass, but you don't want it to be super small, so maybe you can run more drivers to make up for the output loss. Boom, boom, that's gold right there. Very important. Very, very important. Jeff Wallace, $20 super chat. Enjoy a pizza on us. The 14.4 volt chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for listening, watching, or listening. I did it again. Listening while you're working in the garage, but busy enough to not, just throwing down a super chat. Appreciate you, man. And I will enjoy that pizza. I still need to take Kayla out to Red Lobster. It's just been crazy every day. And we should have a day next week. Next weekend. This weekend's going to be crazy. Team SP Loud, maybe the day before. That would be nice. Because this weekend, I actually have a wedding to go to. My buddy, Justin Molyneux, he has been there with Team SP Loud since day one, and he is getting married Friday to my friend also, Sam Fiola. Congratulations, man. Can't wait for your wedding this Friday. It's going to be awesome, and that's why we are not going live Friday. I'm probably not going to make it. If I go live, it'll be a spring live, last minute. Who knows the time? Alan Traveras, thank you for tuning in. I hope you are doing good. Thank you for tuning in. I met this guy from an Eclipse group. He has a system and always base questions, and that's what I am here to do. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you're here. Okay, guys, slow down on the super chats here. My voice is already starting to go out. We already went over an hour. You know how this goes. No, I appreciate you guys so much. Ashy Larry, get some bread and sticks and soda. Thank you. Breadsticks. I love breadsticks. Pizza breadsticks from Pizza Hut. Not pizza breadsticks. Pizza Hut breadsticks are the best breadsticks, and you always got to get the extra sauce. So thank you so much. And soda. Man, Mountain Dew and Pepsi. It's a good combo. Good Doling duo. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let me scroll down. I feel like there's a little bit more I have to talk about, but I covered a lot of stuff. Come on, Bubba, slow down. Here we go with the super chats again. Bubba, I love you. Per my man, 25 hertz to life. Rain has been called for, sponsored in part by 14.4 Volt Talk Discord chat. Hey, you know what? It's okay when it rains a little bit. Today has been crazy. It's been raining on and off. Went for a little moped ride with Bryson. just to get some fresh air, and it's like, man, it's going to rain again. But hey, you know what? When it's raining here, it's okay. Thank you so much for your super chat, guys. You guys are freaking amazing. Deviant, maybe Deviant in 25 will go live Friday. Please, you won't be stepping on any toes. I'm telling you, you won't. Okay, so the competition has ended, I believe so. Let's see here. Winners? Do we have any winners? Oh, 3 unpicked winners. Should we pick the winners? I guess we should pick the winners, yeah. Need to do that. It's about the time, right? All right. 44 potential users. So you guys got pretty good odds, but there's a lot of people that are competing tonight. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you guys. Man, there's 20, 30 other people that are tuned in right now that didn't compete. Next Tuesday, the Unmasked Show on Kicker. YouTube channel, Kicker on Facebook, Kicker everywhere. They'll be doing the same thing, and my show 2 weeks following. Again, make sure you guys enter. I know there's some of you that probably just won. You don't feel like entering. I get it. You got to keep it fair for some of the guys, right? Bobby B and El Fuego. All right, cool. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get up my background music video thing, and we're going to get this going here. So, bada bing, bada boom, right? Cool. I like this music, too. Kind of switches it up a little bit. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Let's see if it's rigged. It's always going to be rigged, Dave. It's Kicker Unmasked giveaway. I mean, come on. See the Unmasked shirt? Rigged. Rigged. Okay, cool. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, 14.4 guy right here. I see it. Okay, cool. It's gonna let me do it. There we go. I noticed that it glitches a little bit when I copy and paste stuff and move stuff around. Okay, cool. We got one. Oh, this is a new name. And I know who this is. Sometimes I don't know the people that enter. You know, they might use alias names, or I just don't know them. And that's kind of part of the show, you know, is to get new people. And I feel like that's, you know, half the thing. But hey, when I know them, it's awesome. So we got 2. How about for the grand prize winner? I know this guy. I was just talking to him not that long ago here. Oh, 3 for 3. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. Wow. All right, cool. Let me get this going here. Bear with me, guys. All right, that's 1. Sorry, guys. Might as well take a sip here. 76 people still tuned in. 77. You guys are awesome. You guys are killing it. I'm just going to put the nickname because I know who it is. Okay. Good. Spelled that wrong. That's a hard name to spell. You could spell it a few different ways. Town. Ooh, Kentucky. Okay. We're good. I think, yeah, we're good. All right, cool. Let me Get my background music going again and turn this guy off here. We're good to go. Awesome. Yes, Stu, I love the round subs, the round Qs. I want to get a pair. I almost grabbed one not too long ago. RGA, you guys all rock. You rock, RGA. Come on, man. That's funny. That's funny you mentioned that, Deviant. You know what? I mean, I guess we'll just do it just because we're here. You guys are waiting for the winners. This is the official 14.4 volt talk Discord shirt. Gonna have to go check it out, man. How'd you know? How'd you know? I had that loaded. I had that loaded, ready to go. Hey, since you bring it up, I'm going to throw it up. Now, I appreciate you guys so much always tuning in, and the Discord is pretty cool for connection. It's like what we do here on YouTube, and it's just another tool. It really is. All right, so without further ado, third place winner, let me undo that. Third place winner that gets the Kicker EB 400s, the Kicker Gray Unmasked t-shirt with the Kicker koozie, and just the swag pack, man. Third place goes to JCD, said USA, no state or town. JCD, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations on winning. It's awesome, awesome stuff. You will get a message from Bill Frog, and make sure that your shirt size isn't schmedium by accident. Come on, guys, I had to do it. I always got to do it. Schmedium, come on, it's a Kipism. Mr. Kipisms. And just to make sure that your shirt size is right, and we'll get you squared away. Thank you for entering, and thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Second place with the Tabor 2s is Ashy from Newport, Rhode Island. Come on, Ashy. You won. Now you really know it's rigged. You really know it's rigged now. I mean, hey, that's the point, though. That's the point. Congratulations, man. You get the Tabor 2s, the unmasked shirt, the gray unmasked shirt, and the Kicker koozies and all the fun stuff, man. Thank you for watching. Appreciate everything from you guys. The super chats, just watching. And, man, you get the win free stuff. Come on, it's a win-win. It's awesome, man. You guys are winning some cool stuff here. And, again, congratulations, Ashy. Thank you for watching the Kickin' It with Andy show. And without further ado, first place for the Kicker Cush NCs, noise canceling, my favorite headphones ever, is, and obviously the unmasked shirt and the Kicker koozies and everything else in the swag pack, is Joseph K. from Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations for winning. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Just kidding. We're going to hang out for a second. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I think that is the coolest thing that they do for us for the show. And, man, you guys get to get some awesome Kicker merchandise. I can't get enough of it. Gotcha, Ashy. 100%, man. Thank you for watching. Deviant, always rigged. It's all right, Joseph. It was a Joe. It was a Joe. Very, very close. Thank you for watching. Always next time, man. William, congratulations to all the winners and kickers and prizes for Andy and doing the show. I know. Thank you, Kicker. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys weren't watching, they wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't be doing this, man. Appreciate you guys just being here and doing your thing. Congrats to all the winners. 100%, man. 100%. I'm keeping the title for the second win, though, 25. Hey, it's okay, man. Second place. I love the Tabor 2s, man. That's what I use for work every day. I leave these for the podcast. Tabor 2s work great, man. They are awesome headphones. And, man, I think this is the show. We ran over a little bit, but, I mean, that's what we do here. 90 minutes-ish, give or take. A little bit less, but it's okay. It's always raining. You know what? There was a lot of rain. I think we're not going to have a drought. There was definitely not a drought. We had a little bit of rain today, and that's all we need to keep the flowers healthy and alive. we don't need a flood. Listen, a flood only happens once. Okay, maybe twice. Now, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you, 25, for tuning in. Andy, can you confirm or deny? Ooh, Larry Keller, just like the sound amp you were talking about. He's on this stuff. But hey, you know what? Can I confirm or deny? I can confirm. And you know what? I can't wait to see him back. And you know what, guys? That will end the show. And shoot, man, I will see you guys next Tuesday. No show this Friday. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, Have a great weekend, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And shoot, let me get this intro, outro going. And man, as all, it's okay. It's okay, Andy. You can do this. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Stay living loud. Kicking it with Andy is going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Kicking it with Andy. Well, I think we have a new caboose. SJC, and then Ashy comes in with the snipe. Thank you, Andy. You rock, brother. Love you guys so much for tuning in. Absolutely. Ashy is the caboose. I will see you guys. Have a great week. See you next time.